Alright, this is our Chapter 10 review. Problem number 1, it says in the diagram the measure of angle N is 56.5. We want the measure of the arc NP. Okay, so this angle here is 56.5. Now it is an inscribed angle, which means that it is equal to 1/2 the intercepted arc. Okay, so since I know the angle, what I want to do is I want to multiply by 2 to get the arc. Right, if you're going the other way, if I give you the arc and you want the angle, you're going to divide by 2. Okay, so if I give you the angle and you want the arc, you multiply by 2. If you want the angle and I give you the arc, if I give you the arc, you want the angle, you divide by 2. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm going to do 56.5 times 2, which comes out to be 113. Okay, but that's this arc MP. I want NP, which is over here. Since this right here is a diameter, what I'm going to do is 180 minus 113, and that equals 67. So the measure of the arc NP is going to be 67 degrees. Alright, now let's look at this problem number 2. It says in the diagram, point P is a point of tangency, QP is 120, QR is 100. What's the radius? So I have a radius here at NR, and I have a radius at NP. Now, since the radius intersects this tangent at point P, that means this right here is a right angle. So I have a right triangle, which means for this I'm going to need to use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Now my hypotenuse is right here, this QN. I'm going to have to take r plus 100 to get this whole length, and I want to square that. Okay. So if I expand this out, I know r squared, if I take 120 squared, that's 14,400 is equal to r plus 100 times r plus 100. So r squared plus 14,400 is equal to r squared. And then I have plus 100r plus another 100r plus 10,000. Okay, simplifying this out, I get this is equal to r squared plus 200r plus 10,000. Now the r squares, I can subtract r squared from both sides, and that's going to cancel. Then I want to subtract the 10,000. So I end up with 4,400 is equal to 200r. If I divide by 200, I get that my radius is going to equal 22. Alright, now for this next section, we're all using this diagram Q here to answer this diagram, a circle Q, to answer these questions here. The first one says, what word best describes segment PR? If I look at segment PR, that goes through the center of the circle, so that means it is a diameter. Okay, what word best describes segment RV? RV goes from one end of the circle to the other end. Since it does not go through the center, that means it's a chord. Right. What word best describes segment or line US? US kind of goes right here, and it looks like it intersects at T, and T is on this circle, so that means it is tangent. It's a tangent line. Okay, now for number 6, I want line RU. So R is here, U goes here. Notice that it's a line, first off, and U is outside this circle, Q. So that means it's going to be a secant. It's a secant line. And then what word best describes segment PQ? P is on the circle, Q is the center of the circle, so that means it has to be a radius. Okay. All right, looking at number 8, says in the diagram JM is a diameter of circle N, and the arc HJ is 6x plus 5. So this is 6x plus 5 here, or 55. And then the arc JK is 40 plus 11x. And we want to find the measure of arc HK. Okay, so since the diameter goes through this arc HK, that means it's going to be a perpendicular bisector. So I know that this chord is equal to that chord. So I'm going to rewrite this, or I'm going to write it as 6x plus 55. Now it's written as 40 plus 11x. I'm going to go ahead and put the 11x in front since they're both positive. I'm going to rewrite it as 11x plus 40. Okay, so from here I'm going to subtract the 6x. That gives me 55 equals 5x plus 40. If I subtract the 40, this goes to 0. That gives me 5x is equal to 15, which means x is 3. All right, but I want HK, the measure of arc HK, so I need to substitute this into the equation. So if I do 6 times 3 plus 55, that's going to give me 18 plus 55, which means that this is going to be 73. Okay, so this is 73, and this is 73. Since I want HK, since I only have 2 letters here, I want to go the shortest route, which means I'm going on this side, not this side over here. That would be a major arc HMK. I would need to have this third letter here. Since it's not, then I'm going to do 73 plus 73, or 73 times 2. Either way, you get 146 degrees as your answer. Okay, the next problem, I'm going to have to determine whether the common tangent is internal or external. Okay, I'm looking at this line right here. It is on the outside of the 2 circles. So this would be an external tangent.